Hi, today I have a total body Pilates and bar workout with weights. You're gonna wanna grab some light weights for this guy because they are gonna feel super heavy by the end. Hi, my name's Mariah. If you are just watching for the first time, welcome to my channel. Every week I bring you free bar, Pilates, and yoga workouts. So if you like free, low impact workouts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started.
We're gonna get this party started by shaking our arms up to the ceiling, taking them down, adding a little tiny bend of the knees as we do that. So just kind of opening up everything in the arms and shoulders. Starting to make it a little bit bigger now, maybe feeling a little bit of a climb in that heart rate. I wanna get you good and sweaty during this warm up. And don't worry, our warm up is like work. Like we're gonna get a lot of work during the warm up and then we'll go get more work after that. From here, let's take it into a squat, and then as you come up, you're gonna rotate towards one side and then squat back down, rotate over to the other side. So let's keep that going. So squat, rotate, squat, rotate. Good, maybe start to get a little bit deeper into those squats. Got it. Good. So taking it bigger as we go. Now we're gonna come back to center. We're gonna just take it down into squats, but every time we come up, we're gonna lift that leg up in front of us and then alternate other side. Good. Now maybe when you squat down, cross your arms in front of you, reach it up in a circle as you lift that leg. Good. A little bit of coordination never hurt anyone. Good. So bar has its roots in ballet, although it's actually a fusion of ballet, Pilates, yoga, and strength training. So we often try to throw in those little artistic elements. It's also good for your mind and eye coordination. Nice. All right, let's set those feet back down. We're gonna take a knee lift now with a little external rotation of the hips. So we're not taking the squat right now, just an alternating knee lift. Because we're not squatting, let's try to make these leg lifts nice and big. But we have that nice little external rotation of the hip. Good. And maybe we take I Dream of Jeannie arms and a little rotation towards the opposite leg. Yeah, woo, balance challenge, hello. Always try to work our balance in every bar class. Super important. Yeah, just do the best you can. Once you start changing the direction of your gaze, that definitely plays with your sense of balance a little bit. So just having some fun with it, be playful. You got it. And then let's take it out wide. So we're in a wide second position from ballet. So heels are wide, toes are wider. We want to make sure we have a nice wide stance here so that we're not sending knees over toes. And then we're going to do a little plie step out. So we're going to take it together, out, Good. Arms can reach up for the ceiling. And out, and in, and out, and in. Good. We have a nice neutral spine here. And we keep the shoulders right over the hips. Yes, very good. Are you starting to get a little bit sweaty? I know I am. Keep that movement going. Fantastic. From here, we're gonna step out wide and just hold it on the plie. We're gonna trace our clock from here. You're gonna reach over to one side, roll it down, reach up to the other direction, and come back up. This time we reverse directions. Aha! A lot of coordination today. And down, and side, and lift opposite direction now. Yes. So every time we come up to the top, we take it over in the opposite direction. We're still holding that plie as low as we can go today. Warming up the spine primarily here, finding a nice rotation with this trace the clock, and finishing up your last one. When you're done with that, we're moving into our plank walk up. So it looks like this. We reach down for the ground. You can bend your knees if you need to. I'm going to show you from this side, by the way. You're going to walk out until you're in a plank. And then as soon as you're in that plank position, we just shift the weight back into the hands and come into a forward fold. Now you can come up every time if you like a little extra. I have low blood pressure, so I have to kind of watch when I come all the way up now. So just find what works for you. Okay, so we're stabilizing in the abdominals, the low back, a little bit of shoulder stability here, upper body warm up as well. Perfect. Let's do 2 more. And then coming right back into our plank, we're gonna lift the right knee off the ground. So just draw the right knee in towards the chest. So my shoulders are over my wrists. There's no bend in my hips. I mean, that's a nice straight plank position. And then that right knee, we're gonna go from side to side, side to side. Yes, you got it. Woo! Try to keep the rest of the torso still as you take that knee out, especially as you take it out to the same side. Let's do 3. Here's 2. 1. And let's take it back into a down dog before we take the other side. Ooh, that feels nice, but we got more work to do. So we're gonna roll it back into that plank. We take the left knee out, up towards the chest, and then out and in, out and in. So you're reaching across the midline of the body when you come back in. So we're getting that nice rotation of the spine. Good, make sure you're breathing deeply here. We want like a nice, either a yoga breath or a Pilates breath to give you that full power. And if you're wondering the difference between a yoga and Pilates breath, yoga is typically done in and out through the nose, whereas Pilates breath is typically done in through the nose, out through the mouth. Either way, just make sure you're breathing deeply. Here's last 2. Last 1. Perfect. From here we go on to the forearms as we lift up into a Dolphin Pike. So forearms on the ground. Lift those hips up. So it's like a downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. From here we come into our calf lengthening, lifting the heels up off the ground and then lower them back down. Lifting them up, lowering them back down. So the purpose of this, besides getting a little bit of shoulder stability here and back lengthening, the main purpose is to get the back of the calves warmed up so that they can get a little bit more length to them. When you have longer, more supple, sweatier muscles going into the main body of the workout, you're gonna get a deeper range of motion and get better work. So it's such good news. And from here, I want you to lower both heels down. Now flex the right foot and lift the right leg up to the sky without lifting the right hip. So if you're doing this right, you're feeling some length in the left hamstring. Go ahead and tap the ground and lift. Tap and lift. Go ahead, let's do 4 more. Here's 3, 2, 1. And now it's time to go to the other side. Yes. And notice what you're doing with your shoulders here. Make sure you're not collapsing in the shoulders here. You're actively pressing that ground away. Lift and lower. Remember, we're flexing the foot of that left foot. Yes, and then we keep the hips squared off. So notice if you're hiking that hip. Most of us hike that hip without even realizing it. We're gonna keep it low for 2 and 1. Perfect. Let's press up into our downward facing dog and then soften the knees. Just one kind of a half plank walk up until we come all the way back down. Good. And then I'm going to take it into a crouch today. We're going to take a little bit longer to come up into our standing, just sending those knees apart from each other. We don't want to stay here too long, so we're going to keep that heart rate up. But I think that feels nice, especially after those plies earlier. And then that gives us a little bit of a chance to come up without all that blood rushing to our head. Perfect. All right, moving into our standing section. So you can have a bar nearby, or chances are if you're doing this at home, you're gonna use a substitute bar like a wall or a couch or a countertop. Anything like that is all good. This first round though, because we are combining the weights with the lower body, I'm actually going to be doing almost all of these away from the bar. So you have the bar there just in case you need to drop the weights and use it. Otherwise, we'll be using the bar or something like it a little bit later on at the end of our practice. All right, so plies with upright rows. We take that nice wide leg position that we did earlier in our warm-up, reaching those weights in front of us, palms grip in, and it's down and up, down and up. So starting with a nice deep plie, always remembering that when I say, your full range or the bottom of your range, it's whatever feels good to you. I want your knees to be happy with the situation. I want all your joints to be okay. Good. Now we want to make sure that we're sending the knees away from each other so we can see the arch of our foot as we peek down. But once we have that, once we're kind of confident that we have the right form with the feet and the knees, then I want that gaze to be right upright. So nice dancer's posture, you got it. All right, now we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna go top half of the legs and top half of the arms. So we're only lowering halfway down and then lifting right back up. Lowering halfway down, lift right back up. So if you think about it, this feels a little bit easier only going on the top half with the legs, but those arms, because they're not getting that full relief against gravity, they're having to work a little bit harder here. You're feeling this in the shoulders, yes, and the upper back. Now, let's take it down to what we call the basement of our plie. So finding your bottom range, and then arms are gonna fully lengthen. We're gonna lift up only halfway, Ooh. So easier on the arms, but I think the extra challenge with the inner thighs more than makes up for that. We are working into those adductors. Yes, this is where we enter what we call the muscular endurance portion that really makes bar. So a lot of these movements we just borrow from other modalities like Pilates and yoga and ballet, but adding these extra little bits of goodness is what we tend to think of when we think about a bar class. Good. All right, we got more to do. We're gonna hold at the bottom of our plie, but we're gonna take the arms up to the top of their position. From here, it's 1 inch down, 1 inch up. So that 1 inch pulse applies to both the legs as well as those arms. Good. Try to relax the shoulders down away from the ears. I know they're working so hard. You can do it. Yes, for 4, 3, 2. Now we're moving on from here. I know, static hold with the legs, so your lowest plie. Now take the arms out to the sides for something different. They're gonna stay long, palm grip down. Lift it up to shoulder height and down, up and down. You got it. You want those arms long, but not locked. Let's do 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. Now from here, we're gonna take the arms up by the sides of the shoulders, palms face down, and then as we shift, we're gonna send the knees out to the side and send those weights forward. Good, and then return to that starting position. So it's just a tiny flare of that knee as you send the weights forward and back, forward and back. We are almost done here. You are such a champ. Here's 3, here's 2, and here's 1. Let's be done with that. That is so impressive. And we're just gonna zip through the rest of these and make ourselves feel so good. So our squat with shoulder press is next. Standing hip width distance apart with those feet. We're gonna take the arms right in front of us, grip faces in, and then lift the weights all the way up as we spine our squat. Good, so down and up, down and up. So it doesn't really matter which way you do this, but I'm gonna lift up with my shoulders as I sink down with my hips. But really, if you wanna do the other one, that's all good too. You got it. Woo, yes. Here's 4, 3, 2. Now find the bottom of your squat. I want you to hold the elbows right in front of the shoulders. So you're just holding with the weights and it's halfway up with those legs all the way back down. Make sure the weight is behind you. So you're sitting your bottom towards like the wall behind you as opposed to sitting the knees forward. So you should be feeling this in the back, not in the back of the body, the glutes, or your booty, not in the knees. Good. For 3. Here's 2. Okay, little pulses now with both the arms and the legs. So little pulses up, 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 up. Make these slow and controlled. Good. And then up, they're small. It's like 1 inch. So how big is an inch? It's not very big. Yes, you got it. All right, we are milking this one for all it's worth. So what I want you to do here, from the bottom of your squat, pick your right leg up off the ground. Yep, you got it. We're doing full range squats with the left leg only. Lift those weights back up to the ceiling. and down. Good. Whew, yes. Single leg is amazing for challenging your balance. Now, if this gets to be too tricky with the balance, I want you to drop at least one weight, if not both, and hold onto a bar or a countertop. Otherwise, we're challenging that balance for sure. Here's 3, 2, 1. We got another side to do. Take it right over the opposite leg. Yes. So even though we say full range, obviously when one leg is doing all the work, it may be that that full range looks different from when you had both legs working. So no big deal. Good. For 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Lateral squat is next. So I want you to watch this one. Sometimes lateral squats get tricky. I'm going to show you the legs first, and then we'll add those arms. So we step out towards the outside leg and then step back in, step out. So I'm only bending towards that outside leg. One leg stays, that standing leg stays straight the whole time. Good. Now we're going to add some of the arms with it, and I want you to go careful. So if you have super heavy weights here, I wouldn't recommend that. I go lighter with the weights. I want you to add a rotation, almost reaching down for the ground, and then lift back up. Rotation, lift back up. Good. If at any point the weights feel unsafe for you here in this rotation, you don't have to use them. You're still going to get an amazing rotation without them, and then you can pick those weights back up as we move later into this lateral squat series, because we'll be doing something different with them then. You got it. So big movement here. We're getting that heart rate going. Last one, and then we're gonna hold with the lateral lunge, so the side lunge. Good. If you had dropped those weights, it's time to pick them back up. We're gonna do a little kick back with the arms, so tricep kick back as we go halfway up, all the way down. Halfway up, all the way down. Good. So it's a full tricep kick back, but the leg is going halfway up, all the way down. Whew, this is amazing. So even though we're tilted forward with that torso, I'm keeping my shoulders back. My belly is pulling in towards my spine. So I have a nice long spine. I'm not rounded. Good. For 3. Here's 2. All right, pause with long arms. We are at the bottom of that squat. We're gonna lift up an inch as we lift the arms up an inch, and down an inch, and up an inch, and down an inch. So arms are staying long for this one. I know, this is so good for you though. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Now take those hands to the weights. I probably don't have to tell you twice. Shift the weight all the way into that bent leg, and then we're gonna do a little leg lift with the opposite side. Ooh la la. It's an exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. For 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. Amazing. You're a rock star. Now we have to do the other side. So take it back to the other side. You're going to take a big rotation and then step it in. Reach and rotate, step it in. Good. So take this at your own pace. Faster is not better. We're really just looking for range of motion here. You got it. Here's 3, 2. Now we hold with that foot planted out to the side. Sweep those arms behind you, palms grip in for that tricep kickback as we lift halfway up in our side squat. Good. And back. Yes, you can do it. Don't let those weights dip if you can help it. Yes, for 3, for 2, holding those weights long, 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 and then lift it up for an inch, and down an inch, and up an inch, and down an inch. So good. You're trying to reach those weights up to the ceiling just an inch at a time, as well as those legs. For 3, for 2. Pause here, hands come to hips. Make sure all the weight is centered over that bent leg, and then opposite leg, lift, and tap, and lift, and tap. You got it. How about 4 more? 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. You're going to come all the way up. We are taking it up right now into our curtsy lunge. So we're going to sweep one leg behind the other. And it's we're going to go down for 3. And then as we come up for 1, we throw in a bicep curl. So down for 3, and then bicep curl, quick bicep curl up. Down for 3. And what for 1? Down for 3, Up for 1. Now we're going to switch. We go down 1, up for 3, 2, 1, down quick, up for 3, 2, 1, down quick, up for 3, 2, 1, last time. And then here's something a little bit different. We're going to take, match our bicep curl with our squats just to keep everything kind of simple. We're going to alternate. So we go to the bottom half of our bicep curl and our squat and do one little halfway lift, come all the way down. Then we come all the way up to the top, lower halfway only. Let's try that again. So it's all the way down, halfway up, back down again, all the way up, halfway down, back up again. All the way down, halfway up, back down again, all the way up, halfway down, back up again. Let's keep that going. And if you're confused, nothing bad happens if you get these mixed up. Just kind of keeping us on our toes, getting our mind engaged. Fantastic. You got it. All right, next we're looking for those pulses. We're just gonna keep the arms at 90 degrees, palms face up. We're at the bottom of our curtsy lunge and it's a little lift and lower, lift and lower. Now, if you wanna add a 1-inch lift with those arms, feel free. This is so good. Total body workout. We're strengthening. We're getting a little bit of cardio in because we've got some big movements today. Getting some length in. We have core to look forward to still. Pause here, static hold. I want you to just shoot those weights forwards until they're shoulder height. Bring them back in. Take them forward. Bring them back in. You can do this. So good. Here's 3, 2, 1. Now we return to those bicep curls and then add a straight leg behind you and bend it back in. Straight leg behind you, bend it back in. You got it. Front leg is staying still for 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Does it feel so good to get out of that? Let's give those hips a little shake, 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 and we'll take it over to the other side. So opposite leg sweeps behind you. The good or bad news is those arms get double duty. So we're getting some super sexy biceps today. So as we go down for 3, 2, 1, do a quick bicep curl up, down for 3, 2, 1, and up, down for 3, 2, 1, take it up, one more time, down, yes, take it up, and then we'll go down fast and up for 3, 2, 1, take it down and up, 2, 1, drop it down and up, 2, 1, last time, just like that. We've got those little alternating halfway positions now. So we're gonna go all the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up, halfway down, all the way up, start over, back down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up, halfway down, all the way up, back to the bottom, halfway lift, take it down, take it up, halfway down, all the way up. Let's take it all the way down, and this time we're going to do those little pulses. So arms at 90 degrees, little lift up with the legs, maybe a little lift up with the arms as well. Notice if you're starting to lean forward here, let's try to keep those shoulders right over the hips. There's no reason not to. We're again checking in with that dancer's posture, making it look easy. Yes. And then I want you to pause here, send those weights fully forward and in. Forward and in. Legs are staying at the bottom of their end range, but it's all good if the bottom of your end range looks a little bit different than when we started these. You're doing so well. All right, we pause here. Nothing else changes in the front knee. Back leg straightens and comes back in, and then we add that full bicep curl back in. You got it. It's the last thing we're gonna do here on this curtsy lunge series for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very, very good. We're gonna come all the way up. We're gonna come to the bar or your couch or countertop or even just a wall to help find your balance. And then it's a leg lift up with a lateral fly up. So little lateral fly up to shoulder height and down and up and down. You got it. Now, as we do that, what is really going to maximize this pose or this movement is to keep the body super upright. So I'm not leaning in towards the wall like I want to, because that would make it so much easier. I'm standing super straight. My belly's pulling in. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more out of that. Now, here we go. We're going to go halfway up and then tap it back down. Halfway up, tap it back down. So both the arm and the leg are lifting only halfway. Take it all the way back down. Yes, this position happens to feel better for both the arm and the leg, wouldn't you agree? But don't worry, we're gonna make it a little bit more challenging right now. So lift up to your highest height and then lower it back down. I know we're not gonna do many of these. Good. How about just 2 more? Yep. Good. Hold here. We still have the pulses to do. Little pulses up, 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 up. For 2, 1. Now hold the arm. Just draw a little circle with that leg. Flex the foot and draw the circle. Draw it the other direction. Now point the leg one direction and the other and take it back in. Oh my goodness. That was so good. Now you can switch sides if you need to flip around. You can do that. Or if you're feeling confident without the bar, you can try this without the bar. Just add that balance challenge. You're going to lift up and lower. Up and lower. Good. It's your full range. Again, check in what the torso's doing. Did you start leaning? It totally happens, but we want to try to catch ourselves. Good. And then it's halfway up, tap the ground. Halfway up, tap the ground. Just 2, 1. All right, here's where it gets interesting. All the way up, halfway down, all the way up, halfway down. Oh my word. Yes, yes, yes. Now pause here. Give me little pulses up, 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 up. Yes. Now hold the arm out to the side. I want you to flex your foot. Draw me a little circle with that heel. Move that circle in the opposite direction. Yes. Point the toe. Do the same thing. Other direction and down. Oh my. That was so good. So we have some good news. We are done with our standing section. We are going to take it down onto our mat next. So lowering down onto that mat, we're going to take our weights in our hands and we're going to be on our high knees. So if this hurts your knees at all, you can double that mat underneath you. And that'll give you a little bit more cushioning. From here, we're going to take the arms right in front of us. And then as we lean back, actually let's take the arms, let's start with the weights behind us. So elbows behind us. So elbows behind us. We're gonna lean back now as we send the weights forward. Good, and then return upright. So you do not have to lean back very far at all to feel this working. You might have noticed that, yes. So if this bothers your knees at all, just take it at a super small range. Nice. Now could you lean back and hold with it back? Keep the arms forward and just lower the arms down towards the hips and lift them. Lower and lift. You got it. Let's do 2 more. Awesome. And then peel all the way up. That's amazing. We're going to stay in high kneeling position here as we take our lateral flexion. So we're just going to bend to the side, lifting it up and over. Good. Now, if you wanted a little bit more challenge, take those arms into goalpost arms. Yep. And you want to be careful here. You don't want to tip over. You're going to lift it up and over, up and over. So good. Just working that spine in opposite directions. Wonderful. Let's come to all fours. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. We're going to tuck those toes, so curl them under. And then you're going to lift the knees just like 3 inches off the ground and then tap the ground. Lift and tap. So higher is not better here. It's actually harder if you keep your knees a little bit lower. I'm always surprised by how effective these are. Good. And then next time your knees are going to stay lifted. Pressing those knees together, you're going to rotate them side, center, side, center. Good. Keep that going. Finding rotation of the spine, working strength in the obliques, the waistline. Perfect. All right, we're going to set those knees back down. You're going to send the right leg behind you and tuck the right toes behind you. Good. From here, flex the right foot and you're gonna lift the leg and tap the ground. Lift the leg and tap the ground. Now it's important that we keep our hips squared off here. You can get that leg a lot higher if you hike that hip up, but that's not actually doing anything for you. It looks pretty, but this is where we kind of pull it back into like that strength training mindset is we're here to do the work. We're here to get some benefit. It's not just a show. So we want to square those hips off, and you're going to feel that so much more in the left side of the booty. Good. Make sure the foot is flexed too. That'll give you even more for that booty. Now pause here when the leg is lifted. I want you to bend the knee in, and it's going to be a little donkey kick up, up, up. We pull the belly in so we avoid arching in the back. For 3, 2, and 1. Take it down, and we're going to try that sequence on the other side. So tucking those toes behind you on the left leg. Foot is going to flex as we lift that heel, so it's no higher than hip height. If you're getting that heel higher than your hip, that means you probably need to square those hips off a little bit more. So just drop that left hip, and then if you feel it in the side of your right seat, you're doing something right. Fantastic. Make sure that belly is pulling in, back is long. And then we'll hold at the top of the next one and squeeze that knee in. So you're taking that heel towards the seat, and then lift it up and down. Up and down, like you're trying to reach the heel to the ceiling. Pull belly in for 4, 3, here's 2, and 1. Perfect. Taking it into a plank position next. So finding our full plank position. If you don't have a full plank in you today, no worries. You are more than welcome to stay on your knees. You'll just hold a static plank if that's the case though, because when we add this next portion, it doesn't quite work if those knees are on the ground. So either way is totally cool. If you're taking that full plank, knees come up. You're making sure those hips are as low as the ribs. So there's no bend in those hips, pulling belly in, lifting up in the space between the shoulder blades. And then if you want to add on, keeping the knees parallel. We lift the right leg off the ground, but we keep those knees just side by side. So knees are pressing together. We flex the right foot and then squeeze the heel in towards the seat on a sharp double exhale. Set that down, do it on the other side. Set that down, take it to the other side. The more that you flex the foot, the more that you'll get into the hamstring, which is all good. Nice. We'll take a few more rounds on each side. Make sure those hips are as level as the ribs. Good. Pressing that ground away from you. And then let's take it all the way down, lowering it all the way down to the ground. Lifting up into our swan pose next. We're gonna have to play a little bit with the elbow placement here. You're gonna take the elbows just a little bit wider than the shoulders and a little bit further forward. So you're gonna kind of gauge that range for you based on if you have the opening to lower your chest all the way to the mat. So we want the chest all the way on the mat. And then on your exhale, legs are gonna stay down for this one. We use the strength of our mid-back to peel that chest up off the ground. And then inhale, lower back down. So the arms are only supporting a little bit. They may help if you have a hard time getting that chest off the ground. Otherwise, they're just kind of along for the ride. Good, this is so good to strengthen your mid-back, helping with your posture, helping counteract any of that repetitive slouching that we tend to do throughout the day. Good, here's 3, here's 2, here's 1, and then take it back into a shell or child's pose. Knees are wide, just a nice little counter stretch for that spinal extension. Don't get too comfy, we have a little bit more work to do, but we are just cruising towards the end of our workout here. We have just a little bit further to go with this core, and then we get a nice cool down. Perfect. From here, you're going to take it all the way onto your back. We're taking it into a single leg stretch. So our single leg stretch, we are going to take both legs initially over the hips. Pointing the toes helps. We try to have those nice long lines unless we're doing something to try to get into the glutes, but this one is not a glute workout. This one is for your core. for your abdominals specifically, I should be clear, because your core is actually a whole bunch of muscles, including your glutes. So this is one for your abdominals. Now, you've got two choices. I want you to watch me for a sec. We're going to do our single leg stretch. So we lower one leg to 45 degrees, and we pull the opposite leg sharply towards ourselves. But if this bothers your neck at all to peel up, we already have so much, and then we switch, by the way. So you can kind of watch this for a couple of seconds. And then if this hurts your neck at all, we already have so much forward flexion throughout the day where we're kind of curving over our shoulders that I actually prefer to do this with my head down on the ground. All that means is I have to pull in a little deeper with my belly and breathe a little deeper, and I actually get a little bit more bonus stretch out of this one anyway. So I'm gonna do mine this way. If you just love adding that upper portion where you're rounding your head, neck, and shoulders, that's okay, but I encourage you, there's so many ways to get abdominal strength without lifting your head and neck off the ground. And I went for years not necessarily realizing that and just like hurting my neck every time I did abs. I always try to educate people so you don't have to go through the same neck pain that I did to get strong abdominals. Good. Let's do two more on each side. So sharp staccato breath. And then take both legs out to 45. We're gonna do our double leg stretch. So again, the true kind of traditional variation of this is to pull your head into your knees, but I'm gonna keep with my legs on the ground. We wanna watch when we're lowering the legs that we don't go so low that we're arching in the spine. So if you feel like the middle of your back is starting to kind of lift up, or that low back is lifting up, just take your diagonal a little bit higher. You got it. We're inhaling as we open, we exhale as we catch those legs. So finding that Pilates breath here. So we inhale, open, and then sharp exhale out through the mouth. So we catch those knees. Let's do two. One. Perfect. Now hopefully those weights are nearby. You're gonna grab a weight in each hand. We're gonna bend into the knees, keeping the feet on the ground. We're gonna roll up to a little chest press, or kind of a mini roll up, and then reach those weights into a wood chopper on the other side. Good. And then before we do the other side, we're gonna roll back down. We roll up, connect those weights over the outside. They do not have to come all the way down to the ground, by the way. You wanna be careful. If this is bothering your back at all, you could either switch to just one weight where you're holding an end in each hand, or you could skip the weights altogether. You do wanna be careful. It's just a big movement when we add weight at the end of a long lever. So be super careful with this one. You got it. Nice. Now really avoid trying to lift the feet when you come up for that roll up. It's nice and slow. You don't have to come all the way up. If you can't come all the way up without lifting your feet, you can just take it low, and then you could just actually kind of reach up instead of taking that wood chopper. Good. And then rounding out the other side, just making sure we're even. And then we're gonna kick it into an articulating bridge. Last exercise we're gonna do before our cool down. So taking feet down. Now, one little caveat, if you happen to have osteoporosis or any disc issues, I'm just gonna have you lift your hips and ribs at the same time in the traditional bridge. Otherwise, we're gonna erase the lumbar curve, so pull belly in towards the spine, flattening tailbone down. And then as we pull belly in and up, we're going to send only one bone at a time up off the ground. So we're segmenting that spine. Good. Use a big exhale here as you lift those hips high. Nice inhale here at the top, and then we're just going to take that in reverse. So again, exhaling on your way down as well. Belly button's peeling in and up to help find more space between each vertebrae, just like we're unwinding our spine, like it's in a coil. We're just unwinding it. Good. And then we'll take it back up. These are nice and slow. Notice if your knees are kind of splaying out to the side. We want to keep those knees right over the hips. Kind of same thing with the feet. If you feel your feet are rolling to the outer edges of the feet, just press forward a little bit more, the inner edge of your arch. Coming back down when you're ready. We're going to do that one more time. We're strengthening hamstrings, glutes, low back. We're lengthening the front of the body. And then slowly lowering down. Perfect. All right, from here, we're gonna bend the right knee, take the left leg up to the sky, keep the back of the head on the ground for sure for this one. Interlacing hands either behind the hamstring, the shin, ankle, or maybe even the foot. Sending tailbone long though, you don't want to peel up with the tailbone. If you want even more, you could straighten that opposite leg, just sending it down all the way onto the ground. A couple deep breaths here, lengthening of the hamstrings. Good, and then let's switch. So starting to feel that breath settle back down, that heart rate come back down. Just starting to come into a calmer state of mind. We had to kind of rev ourselves up and kind of rely a little bit on adrenaline and self-control and discipline for the first portion of our practice, or the main portion of our practice. We always try to balance that out by finding a softer state of mind, just receiving the work. The body really starts to turn on the switch to creating the benefits in the body once we are at rest. So it's kind of an interesting thing. You kind of have to, you won't really get stronger unless you rest after your workout. And especially that continues. So make sure you get a really good night's sleep tonight, because it's at sleep when your muscle fibers grow back the strongest. And you're in what we call that anabolic stage. Perfect. All right, from here, we're gonna press up into a seated position. Just take a few more stretches here. Crossing our legs, we're gonna reach the one arm up and over. Draw the shoulder away from the ear, spiraling that heart up towards the ceiling. Feels so good. Lengthening from hip to fingers. And then we'll come back towards the middle, take it over to the other side. See if you can stretch a little bit longer. Perfect. Coming up, let's go ahead and switch the opposite leg over so we're even in those hips. You're gonna take a nice spinal twist. So take one arm behind you first and straighten into that arm, and that's gonna help prop you up super tall here, which is great. And then taking a little pull towards one knee. Every inhale will lift you. Every exhale, see if you can get a little bit deeper into that rotation. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Releasing out of that, let's take it over to the other side. Good, so straighten that back arm first. Feels so nice. So we did a lot of strengthening with that rotated plane of motion. So we also want to stretch with rotation as well. Perfect. Coming back towards the midline. Now you can either keep your legs crossed, or if you have the flexibility and the knees are okay with it, this is a great way to stretch out the booty. We can stack. So we borrow this from yoga. We can stack one ankle over knee, knee over ankle, top foot is flexed, and start to hinge forward. But if that is too much on your knees, which it totally could be, then it's just a nice cross of the legs. We stay super flat in the back, so I want you to avoid rounding. That does not do anything to stretch the back side of the body to round in the back. So instead of thinking about getting your nose to the ground, I want you to think about taking your chest to the wall in front of you. Good. And then we're gonna come all the way up and then just switch sides. So even if you had your legs crossed, just make sure the other one is crossed over on top, just like we switched earlier. Otherwise, stacked legs, and then take it all the way down to your comfort level. But really, if you have a flat back, you're not gonna go very far. If you're doing it right, the range is a little bit smaller. Nice, deep, calm breaths here, please. And then let's press all the way up.
Thanks again for joining me for today's workout. I'm thrilled you made it through this practice with me. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because every week I bring you new workout videos from barre, yoga, and Pilates. If you liked this video, would you please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with a friend? That really helps me be able to reach more people. And lastly, I want to hang out. I don't want to wait until next week to hang out with you. So I have compiled a special collection of my favorite resources to help you get a jumpstart on your wellness makeover. You can download this collection for free at wellthyboss.com/starter kit. So go ahead, and I'm going to link to it in the description below as well, but wellthyboss.com/starter kit. And this is going to give you my free bonus 25-minute yoga and cardio circuit training workout, which you can't find here on YouTube, as well as a monthly goal setting worksheet for your fitness goals so that you can stay accountable and motivated each month, and my free breakfast recipe guide full of low carb, make ahead breakfast recipes packed with protein, super clean recipes that each of these can be made in less than 10 minutes to batch for the entire week. So I would love to get you started on just a journey of feeling your best, protecting your body, investing in it for the long haul. So don't forget, do your homework, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, share this video with a friend, hit that like button, and then don't forget to pop over and download your free Wellthy Boss Starter Kit. I'll see you soon.